Hello, guys. How are you today? Are you okay? Are you all fine? Oi, gata, tudo bem? Tô aqui preparando pra gravar o trem. E Michelle, como é que você tá? Que saudade de vocês, gente. Cortei meu cabelo sozinho, olha que o trem que deu. Cadê o meu convidado? Where's my guest? Hey, Talita. I will wait for everyone. Michelle, we were going to speak just in English today. Gente, o inglês da Michelle é o melhor da vida, tá? E ela é super humilde. Hello, John. Let me invite you to join our live. Are you there? Às vezes a conexão é difícil mesmo. Hello, John. How are you?
Hey, Gabby.
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, good. Yeah, and you?
Huh? Sorry?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me here today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. So how's things in Ireland about all this mess around?
That's okay. It's getting better.
Yeah?
Um, uh, I think things are improving. Um, but it's going to be slow, a very slow process.
Yeah,
Uh,
in Brazil
but
now it's starting to get bad and we're just I'm reading the comments of the people here and people are just starting it's starting to be like in Italy, like I'm
it
afraid to
is.
say this. Yeah,
Mm,
it's we're having hard times right now and I think it's going to increase even more the virus here, so not
okay.
too good.
So
Hey, teacher.
it's a crazy situation for everybody. I suppose it's something that the whole world can relate to, uh, which is unusual that we're all in the same boat, as we say in English.
Yeah, no, I'm very nostalgic about Irish accent. I hear you and I really miss Ireland so much.
Yeah, how much time did you spend here?
I lived there for 2 years. I
Oh,
I
okay.
learned English in Ireland. I didn't know anything before,
Yeah.
and I learned
So,
from the kids.
from the kids.
Yeah, I learned in the beginning. I was a nanny, and I tell everybody you should go to Ireland because there's the most awesome place that I have been. My two favorite places in the world are New Hampshire in the US and Ireland. And
Yeah.
you might know many students over there, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of students from Brazil and from all over the world. Uh, Italy, Spain, Korea, Japan, everywhere.
And do you teach for like adults or younger students?
It can be anything from aged 17 up to 70.
And so where are the kids from, like mostly that you have?
The majority in Dublin at the moment are from Brazil.
Dublin.
Yeah, in Dublin. Yeah.
So I can't help. I'm sorry. I love it.
Yeah. I'm actually not a Dub myself, but I was born in Dublin.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, I grew up in Kildare. Do you know Kildare?
Yeah, I have been there.
Yeah. So Kildare has a big rivalry with Dublin,
Yeah,
like in
there.
football.
I have been traveling around a bit, Ireland, Cork, north of Ireland as well. Where else? Galway, where they recorded the movie, yeah? P.S. I Love You,
Oh
was there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Great, great movie. Yeah.
And why do you think students should go to Ireland to learn? Why do you think it's a good country? Have you traveled around?
Um, yeah, I've been all over. I love actually traveling around to the more rural areas, the countryside. And it's very different to Dublin because Dublin is just like any European city now. Um, Very cosmopolitan, lots of nationalities here. But I think when you go outside it, then you really meet more of the real Irish people. Um, we're friendly. We're famous for being very friendly. We love
I have
we love
this book here, I will talk about it. It's the
yeah.
Xenophobic Guide to the Irish. Have you read this?
No, is it good?
It says here, the charm of Irish is legendary. The warm smiles, the easy laugh, and the ability to talk during the whole day about nothing is very much admired for everyone. I love so much Ireland, and yeah, as you say, I remember when I arrived there, I started seeing people from everywhere, and I was expecting just the leprechauns, Irish people everywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
uh,
I realized when we go to the countryside is when you really can see the native people, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And did you travel all around?
Well, I have a big frustration that I didn't go to the Cliffs of Moher.
Okay.
I didn't go there. I was sick in the weekend. I had a
Oh, it's really good.
vacation, yeah, holiday to go there. But I have traveled, like as I told you, Cork, Galway, and it's great to travel around Europe as well. Yeah, like it was so cheap. I remember Ryanair.
Yeah,
Are they still there? Ryanair?
yeah, yeah, just about.
Yeah, 20 euros. I used to go to London. I could go to, I went to Amsterdam. I went to Amsterdam twice. I went to Brussels. Where else? France, Paris, Spain, Italy. I travel
Yeah,
all around.
yeah, we're so lucky here to have so many different cultures around us, and so many cities are so close to us. We're very lucky.
And why
Uh,
did you start teaching English?
well, actually, I did it. The first time I did it was like a summer job when I was just 21. I was 21 years old, a long time ago, and I really enjoyed it. And then I actually uh, finished my studies in journalism, started working in journalism, enjoyed it, but it wasn't the dream that I had. And then I went back to teaching some more, and I realized I enjoyed it more than journalism. And that's how it happened. Really, that's the short story.
What is the long one? I mean, the short version of the long story.
Well, there was another career in there as well in the middle of it all. I did personal training as well.
Oh, really?
Uh, yeah, started my own business. That was very tough, very hard. Uh, it's hard to be your own boss, I think, as well. Um,
I am. I love it. I should
yeah,
say.
now you're your own boss. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a teacher and I have my students. I help other teachers to grow their business as well.
yeah. You've got some courses online as well, I noticed.
Yeah, but so far I'm selling course or like from other people that are better than I, but I'm developing one specific for teachers.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, but
Like,
before I'm a teacher and I want to be a successful teacher, like good salary, because all the teachers they think every teacher is poor, they don't have money, they just do it because they have no option, yeah.
yeah, I know. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's for me. In the beginning, a lot of people said, "Are you still doing that hobby?" And I said, "It's not a hobby. It's my real job." So yeah, and are most of the people you like, are they people who want to be English teachers?
Yeah, sure. Like we say 5% of the Brazilian population, that's very huge. 5% are fluent, you know. It
Okay.
means the teachers here, not the teachers, we have a lot of English schools and they're not doing a good job. Otherwise, we would have more fluent people, right?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think being a teacher go beyond to just teach. We coach people, we motivate them. Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it sounds really like a coach, like a subject, a coaching conversation. But no, actually, the students that I get, I manage to let them discover the reasons that they want to learn and like find attachments with the language. And I come
Mm.
from finances, you know, like I had a good job, good
Yeah.
salary, and I was, I was, is it bad if I say I was fed up? Like I was
Yeah.
full?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fed up of the environment of companies. Everything was about profits. I worked to a German company, and my boss was really, I won't say a jerk, but he was a really bad person.
Yeah.
And I just say like, I wanted a break for all these things. And I wanted to improve my English, actually. You know, I didn't think I knew enough to teach, but I say by teaching is the best way to learn, right?
Yeah, of course, definitely. Like even when you're a native speaker, because you have to start from the beginning, and learn about even the grammar, because it's natural to you, of course, and then you have to learn why we do this, why we say this.
Yeah, what are the rules? I
Yeah.
still have difficulties with that. I should confess you because I
Mm.
studied in my past as well as Portuguese. I don't think I speak so badly, like grammarly. And I did IELTS in Ireland, and I got great result, and I couldn't believe it. But I forget because I don't like rules. You know, I'm a person that I really don't like teaching grammar because I think when I learned from grammar, it was not good for me to internalize the language. Grammar always let me like thinking, how can I say this, and always prevented me, like stopped me to speak well. So when
Yeah.
I get relaxed about like, oh, okay, let's learn that this is the way to speak, and the grammar will be like, I don't know, acquired from intuition. And then I
Yeah.
started speaking better.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's interesting because, yeah, a lot of people feel blocked in the beginning, and they're afraid to speak. So I think it can depend on the person, but maybe your approach worked for you. It sounds like it did, and then you learned in that way.
Yeah, but I don't teach this away for everyone. Like I exactly do tell the students, you should learn for what feels comfortable for you. That's the secret.
Mm.
I think you should be relaxed. You should
Yeah.
be, how can I say, comfortable with the language, not just
Yeah.
think that you need to like speak really correctly in the beginning, because of course we won't speak well in the beginning, right?
No, we're going to make mistakes, and a lot of people are afraid to make mistakes, and that's a big problem. They feel that they're going to be judged, uh, and this is a common thing I hear from students here that are in Dublin. Um, you know, uh, Even that people from their own country will laugh at them or laugh at their accent. So yeah, there's a big confidence issue there, or uh, you know, need it seems like it's not actually a language thing, it's more of a confidence thing for a lot of
Yeah,
people.
I believe it's more about being able, your ability to be ridiculous, I think, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it will
Yeah.
be ridiculous, you know, like even today I'm a teacher. Like I say, I don't have the graduation to be a teacher, but I know teachers that have the graduation and cannot speak confidently like I do, because I know I make mistakes. That's all,
Yeah.
you know. And it just led me to help other people exactly in this aspect of like, look, even my boyfriend, he's American, and when I visited America, I wasn't acclimatized with the American accent. So for me, it was so hard in the beginning because I was used to British, Irish, and then every the people start speaking. I was just like, oh my God, it's English, but it's different, you know. It's like
Yeah.
Portuguese from Portugal and Brazil, and I said so like so much silly stuff, and people would
Yeah.
just laugh at me, and I knew it was like,
Yeah. That
what
was
can I
me
do?
when I was a teenager. I went to France and I lived with a family there, and I made so many mistakes. Actually, the family laughed at me. They laughed at me. And of course, I never forgot those mistakes because they laughed at me. But
Yeah, they're saying it happened to me. It happens to everyone, yeah.
yeah. So, but there was me living with a family, a French-speaking family, and I learned so much. When you're in that, you know, you're immersed in the language. You will learn so much, and that's why I think living in an English-speaking country is so beneficial then to your learning.
Yeah, I was watching a series called Afterlife, and they're British, but actually their accent is so similar to the Irish accent that I knew because like like is that right? The English just took over Ireland, and then you start speaking just English, yeah?
That's how it happened, yeah. And then over time, of course, we developed our own accent or different ways of saying things, and so yeah. Actually, a lot of the way we speak is almost like kind of a rebellion against the British accent in some ways.
Why? Why is it?
Well, if you take, for example, the TH pronunciation, you'll hear a lot of jokes about the way we say 33.
33. Oh,
Yeah,
that's it. You know, my boyfriend always make fun of me. That's where I learned it. I say TH, and it's just like, is it hate? Like hate is like hating someone. And he always tell me this, and I didn't realize so far that I have this from Ireland, 33, yeah.
33. Yeah. So that like came from a kind of a lazy Irish thing of, okay, I'm not going to say 33 because that's too formal for me. So it was kind of like rebellion against the formal way of speaking.
So you don't do the,
Well, you can't say that nobody does it because some people do, but it would be maybe more common to hear people not use the th because it's considered quite posh or formal.
okay, yeah, my boyfriend has been teaching me a lot, like, thank you, but my thank is like, thank you.
That would be more common for us. Yeah, just thank you, thank you.
Yeah, no one ever like bothered me to correct me in this way, but the American accent is more like thanks.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would use thank you, thank you.
Yeah, and I feel more comfortable saying thank you, like without the tongue, you know. So yeah, that's why I speak like this. Now I understand myself. I learned from these.
One of the teachers said I've been to England and my accent is American. The first day I couldn't understand a single word.
Yeah, it's like, oh, do you work there? Well, I don't know how to imitate. You might be able to do better than I, yeah.
The British accent.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really want to do it because there are so many in that country. So I don't want to say that there's one British accent, you know? And just like in Ireland, we have many from north to south as well. I don't know if you noticed the difference between Northern Ireland maybe and Cork or Dublin. There's a big
Yeah,
difference.
the accent from Cork was so hard to me because I remember once we were with a group of friends, And my friend asked me, "Do you want me to increase the sound?" Like he asked, like, "Do you want me to increase the sound?" And he speaks so fast, and was just like, "What? What are you saying?" And everything they say is like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
sounded
It's quite a
sounded.
singing accent. It's kind of like da na 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 na.
Yeah, and once also the first time I went to Belfast, I took a train and I was like, oh, now I know English, I understand everything. And I put the phones, and it's just like couldn't understand anything again. Again, I was just like, oh my God, when am I going to understand? Because I trained my listen to Irish accent, and I think Belfast is different as well, yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's quite it's a little bit faster maybe as well. But yeah, yeah, it would be considerably different to ours, yeah.
Yeah, so I consider studying in Ireland, you'll be trained by a really hard, like a way. I mean, your accent is not hard at all because you're a teacher, but the
Yeah, but
family I
also
use it to be nanny. Oh, sorry, no, go ahead, sorry.
uh but actually mine was more so like this because I worked in radio broadcasting as a journalist.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so when we trained, we had to soften our accent because um, it wasn't acceptable, you know, even when I was working there, it wasn't acceptable to have a thick accent um, or a very common accent, as we say. So you had to neutralize your accent to work in
So you did a
broadcasting.
coach program? Like, how did you do it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say coaching, but like some work on it in university and then on the job training as well, where it was a more standardized accent, if you could say, which would be more like, say, even like the BBC, which is called RP, Received Pronunciation. So but actually nowadays, I've noticed that they're encouraging lots more accents into TV and radio. Okay, so
Yeah,
you
even
have,
BBC, yeah. They,
yeah, I mean, they're they're changing their attitude to it. They're inviting, all kinds of accents as a kind of and it's like an attractive thing now to have a unique accent like that.
yeah, of course. How does my accent sound for you
Um,
if you didn't know me?
Not sure. I would say I could possibly tell you were from Brazil, yeah. But that's probably because I spend a lot of time with Brazilians.
And what
Uh,
marks more the accent? I don't know, like,
it could be just the different way you would say different words, and I've heard the sounds, and with anything you learn the sounds, and they become very familiar to you. Even if I pass someone on the street now, I don't speak Portuguese, but I know they're Brazilian.
yeah, I know.
And that's literally because I know the sounds of the sounds that you make as you
Can you
speak.
give me some examples? I'm not embarrassed at all. Like, I love
Um,
talking about it.
it could be even the way you often have the vowel sounds at the end of a word, like g, like jinchi, jinchi.
Gente, yeah.
Yeah, I hear there's a lot, and there's a lot of that. Probably it's more common, I think, maybe to have that vowel sound at the end for you. Is that right?
I don't know my accent, but I know many Brazilians say like Facebook, or Facebook, my Facebook. Um, I don't know, hot doggy, no hot
Yeah.
dog. But my
Yeah.
accent specifically, I can't realize anymore. Like, I listen to me and I can't. So I ask teachers like you, and I don't mind at all. Like, say, oh, tell me something that they realize that I'm speaking very in a Brazilian way. Like,
Hmm.
give me a tip here about my accent in live.
Um,
I love it.
Maybe at all there, the way you say at all.
At all.
I know you'd hear a lot of Irish people actually say at all.
At all. This al, yeah, all.
But even the T in the middle there, you kind of you don't pronounce it, whereas a lot of Irish people do at all.
At all.
You
Okay.
you say
At
at
all.
all, at all, at all.
At all. Okay, I got
And
it.
you probably would say it the way I think Americans say it that way, at all.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah.
American is. And
Mm.
I was teaching a friend of mine yesterday something that I didn't learn in the beginning. This L, like I can't panel all. I didn't learn this, like put the
Which
L
L?
here. Huh?
Can you say that again?
Panel,
Panel. Yeah.
penalty,
Oh, penalty. No,
penalty. Yeah,
penalty.
penalty,
Ah, okay. So you
penalty.
couldn't
Yeah, yeah.
you couldn't say the L part.
I still have difficulties with the L sounds, all.
Okay, yeah. La, 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 la. I mean, is it used much in Portuguese, the L sound?
No, we say like my boyfriend corrected me. I say will. We say will, not will. No, we don't have the all.
Ah, okay, so yeah, it's just a different pronunciation of it. Yeah.
Yes, like I will do it. Will. Almost
Mhm.
you. Yeah, will. So I'm learning
Yeah,
right now. I can speak fluently, but this penalty, I forgot the pronunciation as well. No?
yeah. I remember a lot of students had a difficulty with say words beginning with W, but for example, people could say water, but then when I asked them to say wood, they couldn't say wood.
Would.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
trained a lot of words. Like I'm a Brazilian, but I'm improving a lot. But I still I still want to do coaching, like accent coaching. But like not exactly accent. Like I want to speak a better English. Like we know that we have many accents. Our life turned it into accents. I love it. Sorry, people. We're supposed to talk just about Ireland, but I'm talking
yeah,
about accents. But it's something that it's about English. Like, what are my mistakes about English language? Not exactly accent. Like penalty is the
mm,
word that I was like saying penalty. I don't know if do you have this word? No.
penalty. No.
Yeah, that's the way it sounds reading in Portuguese. And then I forget. I knew this word before. And yesterday, a friend of mine read, and I forgot to correct her because I forgot this penalty.
Well, you can just remember that it's three syllables as well. Then that can help. So
Penalty.
it's penalty,
Okay.
penalty, and
Yeah.
that can help you as well.
It's like entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. It's
Yeah,
correct.
and actually, that's an interesting one because we pronounce it almost exactly like the French do. It's a French word that we use in English, and actually, we say entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, entrepreneur.
Which one is that correct to say entrepreneur or is correct as well?
No, we don't say entrepreneur. No. I mean, I have heard people say that, uh, but the correct pronunciation would be entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah,
So entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship.
entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Yeah. This thing that I'm training right now is this. Is exactly like this. The stress of the words, the intonation. That's the
Hmm.
hardest thing when you learn by like. I learned English in Ireland, but I used to speak with people from everywhere. So you end up learning like how Korean, Japanese, Chilean, people from everywhere. So you end up learning some wrong things.
Hmm. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, and even I've heard things said in Dublin, maybe so repeatedly that the people who come here to learn English have started to believe that it's correct English. So I believe that you have a word. Um, I believe that you have a word called Nana. Do you have a word called Nana?
Oh, that's a bad thing, yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain what it is?
Oh my God, that's awkward. Can I say this?
Yeah.
Like I will say what
Or
I know about it, yeah?
maybe I'm wrong. What I'm thinking of is, maybe poor people who cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, I had to tell my students, actually, this is not English.
No, Nana was a word that they created they don't recognize. They were saying Nana, you know?
Something they don't recognize.
Yeah, we Brazilians, we created this word from the original, right? The knockers.
Yeah, that's what I think happened. Yeah. But I had to explain to my students, no, it's not, it's not English.
But
Because
we all knew, I think we all knew that's not a word, but we say this in this way too. Now they know they discovered the secret, yeah?
well, no, some of my students said to me, "What, really, John? It's not. You don't use that in English." And I said, "No, we don't."
So yeah, it's developing now. In my time, I knew
Yeah,
it was not a word, you know?
yeah. Did you hear that in Ireland when you were here?
Sure, like
Yeah,
we hear it and we saw many stuff, and it's normal, you know, like every country has its problems. Like
yeah,
we just didn't want to be offensive because we know when we say like this is a bad word was not good thing, and they would be really mad at us if we
yeah,
speak this word around. So we created this nana, we say nana,
yeah.
and
And then
then
nobody knows what you mean. Then,
yeah, then they wouldn't recognize. I'm telling you a secret here.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we
Um,
created this in Brazil, like from Brazil. That's
Yeah,
bad.
but I think it's really interesting because of the big community here, this kind of thing, uh, you know, goes into the native language, and then sometimes I think the natives start using they become new words. New words come into languages all the time.
Yeah, because
That's
some things are racist, you know, like there is even a friend of mine here in the lab. She's a lawyer. Uh, we shouldn't we shouldn't call people to bad names, but we end up giving them a name because they do bad things and they're like recognized by that bad thing, right?
yeah, yeah,
And it becomes a bad language word. Let's say if you have a group of bad guys that do it, they're called knockers. I'm sorry
yeah.
if I say that
Knackers.
word.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then as they're dangerous and this offensive word, we create a code to say like, like, oh, watch out, the nanas on the street. You know, we say
mm,
nana, not nanas, nana,
yes, yeah, yeah, exactly.
nana.
No, no. Yeah. So yeah, I'm learning these words all the time. Yeah. But just like that, like I said, new words come in. We use French words, we use Italian words. Maybe we'll be using a new Portuguese word.
Maybe
Um,
you acquire the gente, gente is like folks,
gen- Gente is kind of people, is it? Oh yeah, folks.
people, pessoas. Gente is like, gente, you can say like, gente, what's
Ah yeah.
happening? Like, oh, folks, oh,
I hear people saying this a lot. Yeah, yeah. Gente.
gente. Gente is kind of like, we say we're all gente, like we're people, human beings. It's just a mixed word, It's like kind of folks, I think, in Irish.
Folks. Yeah,
Gente,
yeah.
yeah,
Folks.
someone is writing there, gente.
Gente.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
the
the
correct
English.
spelling?
That is English spelling. We write
Oh,
like this, right? Gente,
gente.
gente.
Okay. Gente. Actually, I think it's similar to the French word for this French word for people is Gen.
Jen.
Gen. Yeah. So there's a lot of similarities in spelling, I think, with French.
Yeah.
So Alan said it's like an interjection. Yeah,
Interjection.
yeah,
It's kind of adaptation, yeah?
yeah. And I can hear it. It's used a lot in phone calls, I think. Is it?
Yeah,
Talking to people.
like you're talking, oh, gente, I'm gonna tell you, it doesn't need to be more than one person, can be one person, can be an expression like, oh my God, gente,
Okay.
what's happening?
Yeah.
We also say gente do céu, like gente from the sky.
Maybe we should ask the viewers if they have any questions, maybe about Ireland, as we promised them we'd.
Of course. People, I will speak just a bit in Portuguese, right?
Yeah, yeah, good.
Excuse me.
Nothing.
Gente, se vocês tiverem alguma pergunta, pode mandar para a gente em português também. Nossa! Então, se vocês estiverem entendendo, pode perguntar qualquer coisa, tá? Sobre a Irlanda, que era o assunto inicial. And you can ask us anything about Ireland, about any English subject, or anything cultural as well. Like John is Irish, John Irlandês.
We have 20 minutes left, yeah?
20 minutes, I think so.
Yeah. So lots of time.
Did you mark 1 hour or 40 minutes?
I think it's usually 1 hour, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, 1 hour, that's fine.
Hey, Walter.
Walter's your student.
Former student, yeah. I should say Walter, I think. Walter.
Walter, I think is German, yeah? Walter from Vovo.
How do you say it? Do you say Walter or Walter?
Walter.
Okay, Walter.
You say Walter.
Alan is also a former student in my school, and he says I want to go back to Dublin.
Which school do you teach? Do you mind if I ask it?
No, it's okay. It's called Atlantic.
Atlantic. I studied in Berlitz, I think. Berlitz.
Oh, yeah. They're near us, yeah. Hi, Marcelo. How are you?
Marcelo, yeah, that's correct pronunciation. That's very good. And how can I remember the Irish names were so hard to pronounce, like Sean.
Niamh, as Alan says, Niamh, Sean, Connor, Owen, Brian.
Owen. Now I'm acclimatized with them, but I remember I did some very funny stuff. I downloaded dating apps to meet people.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and I used to date. I say date because what is a dating app? But I used to date everybody, like any person. And that's when I learned Nana. It's like, oh, watch out, this guy's Nana. You're dating. It's like, he's dangerous, Oh, well. Someone is asking here. Like, wait.
Somebody's asking a question.
I want to know, where's the logo they filmed the place, P.S. I love you, to put in my list of like places to go and visit before I die. No, visit before I die.
I think it was filmed, some of it was in Wicklow.
Wicklow, yeah. Mountains, yeah.
But I'm not sure about the other place. I'd have to Google it. I'm not sure.
There's a pub as well. I went to this pub.
We have so many really good filming locations all over Ireland.
Game of Thrones as well, yeah?
Yeah, that's in Northern Ireland. But yeah, good question, yeah. A famous movie now.
So what is I don't know artists. You might answer this one.
What's the name? No idea, Alan. No idea. What's the correct answer? Marco. Hey, Marco.
Sorry.
Marco's cool. Hey, Marco. Hello.
Marco is Brazilian.
He's he's Italian.
Oh,
he's
Italian.
A former student as well. Yeah.
Italiano, spaghetti.
Italiano. So guys, we're talking about Ireland. What questions do you have for us? Maybe you're thinking about studying in Ireland.
Another Irish here. Simon.
Simon is Irish, is he?
Yeah, Simon is Irish.
Okay, hey, yeah, Simon.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, people. I will tell some things about Ireland that I learned and that I'm really happy to share.
mhm.
Um, no, Ireland, I think, is the only English speaking in Europe. Yeah, because UK doesn't belong Europe anymore. Yeah,
Yeah, the European Union, yeah,
and
exactly.
I think Dutch people are the best English speakers in
Yeah,
Europe.
they're really good. And the Swedes are fantastic.
Do you wait? Do you think it is good to go back to Dublin after this pandemic?
Of course. Yeah. Um,
Anyway,
I think I'm very optimistic about the future. I think things will return. I think we will have a new normal, but I think things will get back to normal. I don't see why life won't continue. So yeah,
I, I feel also the word is healing, kind of healing. I know it's crazy to think,
yeah,
but things are being cleaned, like
yeah.
people are learning the real value of this stuff, like having a
Did you
simple life.
did you see the animals in my stories?
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah, walking around the streets. Did you see them?
But is that true? Some things that I think is just like fake news. Is that true stuff?
I think it was true. Yeah.
So yeah, someone is asking tips. Oh my God, I have my tips from a tourist person.
Yeah, let's hear
Uh,
yours first.
well, the music everywhere, like when you go around Temple Bar, it's the place that you really see the Irish stuff. Yeah, like the singers are just it's fascinating. I remember a pub, Darky Kelly's. You know this pub?
I used to work at next door.
Oh, really? I met some
Yeah.
really good friends in Darky Kelly. My best friend she's Ayami, Japanese. Um, I met some American, Irish people there, and I remember going to pubs to make new friends was the best thing ever. Like drinking pints and sorry, drinking it, and being drunk with Irish people was so funny.
Yeah. I worked in the hotel attached to that pub. Do you remember the hotel next door?
Well, how long was it before? Like I was in
Oh,
2017, 16.
oh, it could be, no, it was much, it was probably 15 years ago or maybe less, I don't know.
Yeah,
Some,
I have just 4 years I've been there.
uh, Somebody said, what should we know about Irish culture? Um, you should, one thing you should know is that we are very polite and please and thank you. All of this kind of thing is very important here. Um, so
Sorry is the word you most listen. Sorry.
yeah, everything. Sorry, 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 sorry. And sometimes we do something, and then we say sorry after. Something we know we shouldn't do, and then we say sorry afterwards. Uh, but yeah, no, it is important. Yeah, politeness is very important.
And I have another one. It says here in this book, Sigmund Freud once claimed that the Irish are only race who cannot be helped by psychoanalysis.
Really?
That's very funny. I know why is this. They say
Yeah.
the funerals are funny and the parties in the funerals is that normal thing to do before? It's still.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I wouldn't say I mean, it's a big party or anything, but it is it's very common for people to go to the pub after the funeral, and to celebrate the life of the person. And sometimes we have dinner, or just maybe drinks as well. Um, but yeah, that's the common like kind of procedure for a funeral here.
It says the great gales of Ireland are the men that God made mad, for all their wars are merry and their songs are sad. I know that's poetry, okay, people?
Can you say the bit about psychiatrists again?
Well, I will say some statistics that I know about Ireland, and maybe you're not a part of it. But I realized when I was there, a time of research, they had a #1 of mental disease in men because of something. Irish people are very shy, right? Very shy. And
Yeah, it's changing, but yeah, definitely there is a lot of shyness. But it is changing.
it's changing a lot, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, thanks
definitely.
God, because of maybe other nations mixing. I don't know
Yeah,
why. But
exactly.
I
That's what.
remember many guys that I met, they used to be more happy when they drink. Like they used to be
Yes.
like, oh, no other person. Like, where's the
A
guy I
new,
met yesterday?
completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I found really curious. Like,
Mm.
why this person is so like shy when they don't drink? So drinking is something really good. Like that, you cannot drink on the streets in Ireland. It's a tip for a Brazilian person.
Yeah.
Here we can drink anything, anywhere, everything. But even though I remember many people were with a coffee, more like coffee cups and drinking, even though like even without permission. So I think Ireland is an awesome country, but when it comes to cultural stuff, maybe they were oppressed by like in the past, right?
That's what happened. Yeah.
I think that's why, like, when a nation has oppressions in the past, they bring it for like the other generations.
Yeah.
So that's my perception, you know.
It's very true. That's what happens. So we had that history has kind of been on our shoulders, maybe. But I think it is starting to change. You'll see though a lot of people who are on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they're like this, and then Friday, hey, it's Friday. What are you doing this weekend?
That's the
Because they're
reason that I tell you you should be an entrepreneur.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Then, but yeah, no. When it comes to Friday, everybody starts thinking about the pub and the weekend and drinking.
And
But maybe
another
that's
thing,
common.
that I missed that we have in Brazil, but we didn't have in Ireland. That was not so common. People inviting us for their houses, you know. Everything was on the pub.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, and I
So
actually sometimes I feel like I'm not Irish because that's what you said is more interesting for me. I would prefer to go to someone's house.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah. And I missed this so badly that I felt like I felt kind of like I know it's not exclusion because most of the people behave like this, but for a Brazilian person, the hard part for me mixing with the culture, I felt like they never invite me to come to their house, you know, like what is happening? Because in Brazil, everything's like, oh, let's go home, do a barbecue, like, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think I hope that becomes more of our part of our culture because I think it's nicer, to have bring a group of people to your house, have a party. I think it's nicer than the pub.
Yeah, it's just cultural. Like we're talking about culture here. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's bad or good, but we shock with this. When we are Brazilian, we just like, we keep like, and they also don't go a lot in our place. I remember some Irish friends, really traditional. They go to my house and we're very shy to be there a long time. They feel like they were annoying, but we like it. Like, come here, you know, feel home. So that's
Yeah,
something that I think I felt like when I lived there, but I would like to, I don't know, tell people from Brazil. But as you say, many Irish people are starting to be more open, like acquiring some good aspects of the culture. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even as a teacher, the students invited me to their home here in Dublin, and I was maybe surprised that they wanted me to go there. They made feijoada, they made
Feijoada for you.
I forget the other names, but they made so much food, and they said, yeah, you know, and then everybody contributes in some way. So it's not like it's a joint effort. It's not like one person has to pay for everything.
Yeah,
And
everybody brings some food, you know.
yeah, I think that's really nice. Like it's like a joint effort.
So how did
Uh,
you say that you feel?
Sorry.
Brigadeiro, she's saying brigadeiro is like a sweet, eh?
Yeah, I think we had Brigadeiro as well, and what was the other one? Not Cushinia. Uh, I forget the other one, the really famous one. What's the other famous one?
But
Farofa.
farofa, yeah. But how do you feel as an Irish person, like in this sort of environment? Like, do you think it's a good stuff?
Uh,
Like,
well, I really liked it, yeah, because I felt like they invited me to learn about their culture and to uh, it was a really nice kind of, you felt like you were invited into their world and into their family, and
yeah,
that they really want you to learn about their culture as well.
yeah, and like we have just some 8 minutes. Now I will dedicate just for you to say, like, I knew Irish culture, but I feel the really deep aspects of the culture. I wouldn't say that are hidden, but it's not so invitative for me. Like, invitative, is that the word?
Hidden, no?
No, it's not hidden. This is a way that you got to know our culture. I couldn't
Yeah,
do it so deeply. Like, even that I had dated some guys,
yeah.
even the girls. I have never had a Irish girlfriend. I mean, they seem to didn't like me so much. But I
Uh,
know that's not a rule. I know that's not a rule. But I wish I could have been in someone's house. You know, so hard. You know, like, why?
um, is your question about how do you get to know Irish people?
Yeah, like, is it a slow process? Like,
Maybe, maybe, yeah. But I think we're much different than we were 10 years, 20 years ago. I think we were quite a closed country, um, and we were almost afraid of other nationalities and foreign people. Uh, it's definitely changing, um, and I think uh, even even when I was dating, I never dated an Irish person.
really?
No, never in my life. Yeah.
Why? Which nation did you date? Where is
I
it?
I I dated everything. I dated Italian. I dated German. I dated uh, everything. Yeah, Brazilian, everything. Yeah. So, um, but yeah, I think Ireland is changing. Yeah, we're certainly becoming more open, and we want to learn about other cultures, and um, uh, that's why I think maybe, like we said, the shyness thing is changing as well, because we're learning, cultural things from other people as well, and maybe we're learning to be more direct as well, because there's a lot of Latin influence as well that is more direct than we are. I've noticed that changing actually. Um, uh, but yeah, there's I think the to get to know Irish people, uh, you kind of just have to learn about the kind of people they are, live with them first, work with them. Certainly when you work with them, you get to know them really well. So having a job here, I suppose, I mean, you probably had a job here, did you?
Yeah, I had a job. I had three jobs, but at work I had just multiple cultural. And when when I got to leave with a family, well, I don't like talking about this experience, but as you say, they're very close. So I was a nanny, and I got really attached with the kids, and but the mom is just like a after contact, it's like oh, like we're having I don't know, in December it was Christmas time, and she decided to get a sabbatical, I think. And we just cut off the contact, and I remember us crying like, oh my god, I like it, the kids. And maybe that's normal, like oh, you're not part of her family, but in Brazil we would be friends forever, like I don't know. And yeah, I worked and I had this experience, but I understand it. It's just an aspect, you know, like maybe the don't. Some people, of course, not everybody. Some people just don't want to have like too many friends, you know. That's too much. Like I have already
Yeah.
people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there is that as well. Yeah. I mean, we connect with people. Sometimes we connect with people, sometimes we don't. Humor is really important. Humor.
Humor, yeah, humor. Read this
So
book,
important.
teacher.
Yeah.
Please read this book. It's very funny. I love
If
this
you
book.
if you can make an Irish person laugh, you're in there. You're going to make a friend. And that's what so many friendships are about. So many friendships. I mean, the people who I love hanging out with are the people who make me laugh.
Yeah,
Um,
I think going to the pubs, like listen to the music, yeah, like playing
yeah,
together, maybe. Can you
like
sing?
my not really, but my cousin is my best friend, right? And we laugh and we laugh and we laugh, and I think that's probably the key. I think to a lot of the friendships you might make with Irish people.
Yeah, if I would define the Irish culture like the movie P.S. I Love You, in the end of the movie, the woman find a guy that makes her laugh. And I
Yeah,
remember every time, despite all this experience, I used to have a good laugh with many Irish friends. Like we always like drink, and I'd say drink because I drink them a lot at times. Sorry, like today I don't drink a lot anymore, but drinking is really strong stuff in Ireland, and laughing and in pubs and laughing until cry. Like
yeah, yeah. So I think yeah, that may be the most important thing you can do to make friends here. But yeah, it takes time. Just it takes time and patience to learn the way we speak and the sense of humor, things like that.
yeah, I also apologize, teacher, if I'm too honest sometimes. You know, I'm too open person. Like I talk about everything, and I don't mind if it's negative or positive, but I always see the positive side. Like, oh, it's okay. You know, I learned from it. And I
Yeah,
really want to come back to Ireland. Like people ask me if I would choose a country to do another exchanging program, I would go to Ireland again and again and
yeah.
again.
Well, let's ask. I mean, some of my students are here. I can see them. Let's ask them why did they choose Ireland and did they make the right decision? That's my question to you, Hauke. Hauke, I can see you there. Um, why did you choose Ireland, and are you glad you chose Ireland?
Oh,
Let's hear.
30 seconds.
Oh, 30 seconds. Oh, no. Alan
Oh
says, I want to go
no.
back to Dublin. Yeah, good luck, Alan. I hope you find your job. He's going to come back. Um, accountancy. Oh, that's what you were doing in finance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gabby,
guys, we have
thank,
6 seconds and this live is gonna end. We had a great chat here. John,